Hey, this is a demo of my own saber. This is my Starkiller. This is my favorite saber of all time. You know, my favorite design is the Starkiller saber with the exposed crystal chamber. This particular one has gone through several iterations. It's also something that you'll see in that's in my logo. It is just beautiful. This is probably the third install that I've done on this guy. This was made from a Cloud City Sabers conversion kit, and this has a lot of friends that were involved in making this saber, right? So Jeremy Jackson, who owns Cloud City Sabers, was one of the first people I had ever really gotten to talk to in this hobby and got to know. I don't know if he's very active these days, but he still does do some things from time to time. But anyway, I bought this conversion kit from him. My buddy Joe Hernandez built up this crystal chamber for me. I sent him the upper half after I cut it out, and I sent him this crystal. This is a double pointed quartz that I kind of cracked up, and then I sent him the crystal, and he built up the chamber for me. My friend Benji over at Nerf Herder made me the blade plug, and then he also made this stand for me, which was super unexpected. But he sent this to me in the mail one day when I first moved into my house as a housewarming gift, and it's really cool. This sits on my desk. This is the only saber to sit on my desk right next to where I work. And then my buddy Michael Velasquez over at Rogue Shadow Sabers made the secondary crystal chamber for me. And then this has also a Holocron Marble by Noah Drew. I'm going to take this off. And then this is what it looks like now. So it's got a removable battery. Battery is pretty tight in there. Got a removable battery. This crystal chamber that Mike made for me. I put that holocron marble in it. So it's got its own neopixel accent on the top. The crystal has a separate neopixel accent. I made this little greebly on the bottom of the marble, and this is actually on a motor, so it spins when the saber turns on. Of course, you know, we're running a Proffie. That is my favorite board, although I love every board. Every board has its place, and there's a different board for everyone. My personal preference is Proffie, so that's what we're running here. Very old board. I've had this guy around probably for about 2.5 years. And then kill switch right here. Fully enclosed. Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker, 28 millimeter. This thing is super loud. This is one of the loudest sabers I've worked on, probably top 3. Right? I'll throw a battery in this guy. This is the saber that I'm taking with me to Celebration. So I've been working on it off and on, trying to get it ready. And I finally finished it up this morning. So it is now ready to go. I'll be at Celebrations on Thursday. If any of you guys are going to be there, hit me up and say hello. I'd love to meet you, shake your hand. But when we come over here and flip this kill switch, turn this light off first. This has the Starkiller font by Syndicate Sound Relics. It also has the Predator font that he made for me. And then I think I've got Exegol on here as well, right? But we'll start off, I think, with this Starkiller font.
Check out that noise. I think Lord Vader's experiment just got loose.
And you can see the cracking in that crystal really good. That marble just lights up blindingly. And we turn it on. You may not be able to see that spinning piece in there. It's really hard to see it. It's down here spinning. You kind of see it right there. Maybe if we went to another sound font.
Ancient warriors would mark themselves with the blood of their killer. It's a rite of passage.
Cracks in that crystal are really showing up well. You can see it spinning now. Nice shine through. This takes a 7/8 inch blade. I'll throw this on. There's so much going on here. if I didn't have the motor in here for the crystal chamber, everything would have been fine. But being that I had that motor in, I had to make a small spacer for the pommel and lengthen up this handle just a tiny bit. So that's what I did. Put a little spacer right here. I needed about that much more room, but now everything fits fine. For blade retention, I went through, I drilled and tapped that top hole right there where one of the brass pins would have gone. We'll just take that blade plug out. And this is the one that Benji made me. It's super cool. Fits the saber really well. We're running CC sabers in there. There's not a whole lot of blade depth, but it's plenty to do what I need to do. Probably won't take a blade with me to celebrations just because I don't want to have to deal with messing with a blade. Now we got that blade in there. Do get a little bit of shine through right here. A little soundtrack.
I will give you so much more. What could you give me? Everything.
Saber is very solid.
Stop me now. Nothing can.
Yeah, I've only got 3 fonts on here. That's all I need, really. I don't really put much more than 2 or 3 fonts on my own sabers. I'll take the battery out. But anyway, that is my Starkiller. I've kind of redone the install every so often as my skill set changes a little bit. I go back and I see this guy and I see stuff that I could have done better, or things that I would have done differently, or something I could have done more complex than what I did. The first install I ever did on this guy was a chassis that I had found on Etsy or something because I wasn't designing them at the time. And I ran the crystal LED in line with the blade because I didn't know how to do them separately. The second time around, I did a red resin chassis, but still the install was a bit messy. And, this time around, I got this one, and I'll probably keep this one. I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out, and it's a good representation of what I can do today. But anyway, that's my celebration saber that I'll be taking with me, and my favorite saber of all time. All right, thanks for looking.